Most people think of vinegar as that sour bottle hiding in the kitchen cabinet. Salad dressing, cleaning spray, maybe a home remedy your grandmother swore by. But in the medieval world, vinegar wasn't just a condiment. It was survival. It was medicine. It was sanitation. And the monks who quietly shaped Europe's knowledge systems treated it like liquid gold. Welcome back to Ancient Roots Uncovered. Today we dig into one of history's simplest substances with one of its biggest forgotten roles. Vinegar was medieval medicine in a bottle. Monasteries were the research labs of the Middle Ages. Monks weren't just copying manuscripts. They were observing nature, testing remedies, and documenting results. Vinegar appears again and again in their medical texts. Wounds were rinsed with diluted vinegar to reduce infection. This wasn't superstition. Acetic acid, the key compound in vinegar, inhibits bacterial growth. Modern microbiology confirms what monks learned through practice. Vinegar slows pathogens and creates an environment where microbes struggle to thrive. Medical writers like Hildegard of Bingen described vinegar as a purifier. She recommended it for skin infections, digestive troubles, and even fatigue. Not magic. Observation. When clean water was unreliable, vinegar solutions offered a safer alternative for rinsing wounds and utensils. That alone saved lives. You know, monks used vinegar to make food safer. Food poisoning was a serious threat in medieval Europe, and, well, preservation was everything. Vinegar became one of the most effective tools monks had at their disposal. Pickling vegetables in vinegar extended shelf life dramatically, and it also reduced harmful microbes. Monasteries really relied on stored food to survive those long winters, sudden influxes of pilgrims, and, honestly, poor harvests. Vinegar pickling meant food security. Fish soaked in vinegar lasted longer, you see. Herbs preserved in vinegar retained both their flavour and medicinal value. Even bread scraps were soaked in vinegar mixtures to prevent mould. This wasn't just kitchen work, it was, in fact, strategic survival planning. Vinegar helped monks control the spread of disease. Monasteries were dense communities, and illness could spread fast. Monks noticed something important, though. Areas cleaned with vinegar smelled sharper and, well, seemed linked to fewer outbreaks. They wiped tables with it, rinsed cups with it, and even washed their hands in diluted vinegar when caring for the sick. They didn't know about germs, but they certainly understood patterns. During outbreaks, monks sometimes burned vinegar-soaked cloths or carried vinegar sponges to, purify the air. The logic was flawed by modern science, but the antimicrobial properties of vinegar still reduced contamination on surfaces and fabrics. It was, in its own way, early sanitation, quietly effective. Vinegar was part of monastic daily discipline. The structured life of monks under the Benedictine order emphasized moderation and health. Vinegar appeared in their daily routines. Diluted vinegar drinks were actually pretty common, not because they loved the taste, but because it made water safer and, well, easier to digest. Roman soldiers had done the same centuries earlier. Monks preserved the habit. They also used vinegar as a digestive tonic. After heavy meals, a vinegar-based drink was believed to stimulate the stomach. Modern studies show mild vinegar consumption can help regulate blood sugar and improve digestion. Again, medieval practice meets modern confirmation. Vinegar protected manuscripts and tools. Here's a detail most people never hear. Monks even used vinegar in their scriptoria. Ink spills, mold growth, and contaminated surfaces threatened manuscripts. Vinegar solutions were used to clean writing tables and tools. It reduced mold growth and preserved parchment environments. In an age where one manuscript could represent months of labour, this really mattered. Vinegar wasn't just protecting bodies, it was protecting knowledge. Vinegar connected monasteries to trade networks. Monks didn't only make vinegar, they traded it. Vinegar production became part of monastic economies across Europe. Wine that turned sour wasn't wasted, it became vinegar. Monasteries refined fermentation techniques and stored vinegar in wooden barrels, which improved flavour and consistency. Some monasteries became regional suppliers. Vinegar joined honey, cheese and herbs as reliable trade goods. This brought income, stability and influence. It also helped spread practical knowledge. Travellers carried monastic vinegar methods far beyond monastery walls. Modern life, I think, has forgotten the mindset behind vinegar. Today we still use vinegar, but, well, we treat it like a convenience product. Medieval monks saw it as a system tool. They understood its multiple roles: medicine, food safety, hygiene, preservation, trade, documentation. Vinegar was woven into daily life because they valued multi-purpose solutions. That's the real forgotten lesson. The monks weren't obsessed with vinegar itself. They were obsessed with resilience. They built routines around simple, reliable materials that served many functions at once. Modern systems often chase complexity. Medieval monks mastered efficiency. So, what can we actually learn from this? The takeaway isn't that vinegar cures everything. It's that small, adaptable tools shape long-term survival. Monks thrived in uncertain environments because they relied on substances that were accessible, renewable, and effective. Vinegar checked every box. Today we spend fortunes on specialized products. Medieval communities survived with fermentation, observation, and discipline. Sometimes the past whispers solutions we stopped listening to. And vinegar is one of those whispers. If you enjoyed uncovering this forgotten piece of everyday medieval wisdom, make sure you subscribe to Ancient Roots Uncovered and share this video with someone who loves history hiding in plain sight.